In a must-win game where they know a loss will mean they will have to go through the exit door, Bangladesh are showing some fight. Will that be enough? Parthiv Patel will tell us here on Cricbuzz Comm Box. At the end of 15 batting first, Bangladesh are 78, but it's the 2 wickets that perhaps will needle them a little bit. Captain Shanto looking pretty good, 34 not out. Tanzid got a start. Miraz showed some fireworks but didn't last long, and this is where they find themselves. Parthiv, in the last game, they were 35 for 5. From there to do this, will they be relieved? Or are they telling themselves we should have done better on a Pata wicket like this?
So if you're comparing 35 for 5 to 78 for 2, it's a good start. I mean, it's not a great start, but they should be happy comparing to what they did against India. But on a pitch like this, again, the batters got start. Yeah. So I'm sure they would be frustrated about it. But it's a decent start for Bangladesh.
Throughout this Champions Trophy, we've seen that teams that do well have not been too adventurous right from the word go. They've tried to build a certain foundation. And if that is going to happen, New Zealand will have to stay focused over the next 35 overs.
They will. And that's exactly what happened when we saw what Van Duckett did. Scored 165. We saw what Virat Kohli did in last game. We saw what Shubman Gill did against Bangladesh. So obviously you need one of your top order to get that big 100 or maybe stay not out. And that's what Bangladesh would have hoped for after what Tanzid got a start and after what Mehdi Hassan also got a start. But yeah, New Zealand, I thought with the bowling plans they were okay, but with the captaincy, I thought they were slightly on a defensive mode where they used a couple of edges where there was no slip up Shanto. They should have slightly attacked a bit, but that's what New Zealand is, isn't it? They like to play that waiting game. So yeah, they'll have to break a partnership.
What's good though is Mahmudullah, the experienced campaigner, is a part of this 11. He came into the playing 11 for this match. So a look at the batting card will perhaps tell you that there is a fair bit of talent left in that Bangladesh lineup. 2 players gone. Tanzid out. The first one played a strange shot off the off-spinner Bracewell. Tanzid Miraz, his first scoring shot was a 6, but somehow just seemed to be in a bit of a hurry today.
Yeah, both of them. I think Tanzid Hassan, it's a pattern. I think against India also he was 25 of 25 and then got out playing a big shot. Here also he looked well set. He played an outstanding shot, pickup shot that went for 6 of Kyle Jamieson. Yeah. So once again, that's something which we spoke about, that he needs to build on the start which he's getting. He failed today, and same with Tanzid Miraz. He's been their performer. He has asked to go open or bat higher up the order, but he has not lived up to the expectation of his own that he wanted to take more responsibility.
Centurion from that last game, Tauhid Hridoy now batting with the captain who's looking pretty good as well, with the 2 M's, Mushfiqur and Mahmudullah yet to come. And then it'll be followed by Jakar Ali, who bats in at number 7. So there is a fair bit of batting left, but the job is not done here, Parthiv. They've got to keep going over the next 20. What should their approach be?
Just keep knocking it around. Just try and score 5 runs and over. You don't need 6 or 7 at this point in time. Wickets in hand is something which we've seen is important in this tournament so far. So that's something which they should be looking at. And Najmul Shanto I think, is the main character here in this movie, because he's got a start. He's not out on 34. He should get 100, and that should take Bangladesh to a decent score of 260, 270.
Kyle Jamieson got hit for a few big shots as well. There's no help whatsoever on a hot afternoon in Rawalpindi. It's a Pata wicket, and that meant that Bracewell had to be brought in. He's given them the breakthrough. A wicket for William O'Rourke as well, that of Tanzid Miraz. Do you see the spin troika that we talked about in the pre-show? Do you see that spin troika operating a lot more over the next 20?
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. We haven't seen Mitchell Santner yet. We've not seen Glenn Phillips as yet. So I think that's something they will come into play. And from New Zealanders' point of view, they would like to get a wicket of Najmul Shanto. There is not one left-hander once Shanto gets out. Then Mahmudullah, Mushfiqur and Jakar Ali, all right-handers. That's where Santner will come into play. But yeah, I mean, the spinners will do the bulk of the bowling in the next 20 overs.
They are at 80 at the end of 16. Now, assuming they keep going through at the same rate, they should be past 200. Anything less than that might be a touch disappointing. Or would you take it anyway, 180, 190?
No, 180, 190 would be a really, really low score on this pitch. At 35, somewhere around 180, 190 shouldn't be a bad score, but wickets, I feel, is the key, and they need wickets in hand.
Yep, Bangladesh have certainly laid a decent foundation. It's now up to the captain and the youngster Tauhid Hridoy and those that follow to keep it going. Remember, if Bangladesh lose, they will be out. So the onus is on them.
And Pakistan will also be out.
Pakistan will be out as well. We keep giving you a 360 perspective on the Champions Trophy here on Cricbuzz. We'll see you again at the 35 over mark. Bye for now.